Mama's cocktail hour, so pour it up. Pour it up.
What's up, guys? It's your girl, Zeta Lisa. Welcome to Mama's Cocktail Hour. Get your cannabis, get your coffee, get your vino, whatever your poison is, and get your butt in here. Today, we are going to be discussing the 4-part documentary series, The Reckoning, the one that 50 Cent finally brought into fruition. We're going to be discussing that. But since I missed the whole Diddy saga because I was in my mom way, we are gonna break this series down, okay? It's a 4-part series, and we're gonna get into the nitty-gritty. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. We're gonna break down the victims. We're gonna talk about his past. We're gonna talk about the media. We're gonna talk about his power, his control. We're gonna break everything down because I missed so much, okay? But your girl is back, and we are going to start today with the most interesting topic, okay? We're not going to start from the beginning where 50 did. Shout out to 50 and Alexandra, who did the documentary. I thought it was dope. I thought it captured so many things besides just the sexual assault. It wasn't salacious. Like, it painted a picture of a calculated calculated individual, okay? And that's what we're going to break down today. I thought we would start exactly where I missed, about how when Diddy found out that he was going to go to jail and he brought his behind to New York City, and we start to see the clips that 50 Cent did a phenomenal job in obtaining, the personal clips that Diddy probably was using for his own said documentary, okay? 50 Cent was able to get his hands on this footage, and this footage shows a different side of Diddy. And it ain't a good side, okay? But it does speak on how calculated Diddy is. So we're going to discuss that along with the media, along with the public. We're going to break down how power, influence, money can shape the media. All right, so let's jump into it, okay? So we're going to start exactly where we needed to start, the courtroom. Now, shout out to Tisa Tells. Tisa Tells did a phenomenal job. She's on YouTube. If you guys see her on YouTube, or you probably follow her, you know, she's amazing. She was at Diddy's, all of his court hearings. She was there in the beginning, and one of the things that I thought was very interesting, and I myself as a blogger kind of did some research on, was how expensive like the overall court process is, okay? So everybody, YouTube media, the deep dark YouTube web, we was out on these streets trying to get these court transcripts, okay? If you guys do not know, Diddy's trial was held in a federal court. And so for federal courts, those trials are not broadcast. So as you can see, we only had photos of Diddy in cartoon characters. Like, it wasn't streamed. It wasn't live like said a state trial would be, okay? So that was one of the biggest things, because he was going for RICO charges. All of his charges were federal charges, so he was being tried in a federal court. Now, that took the whole aspect of the media from inside the courtroom, but what it did was, okay, it brought it to outside the courtroom. So YouTube folks all over were blogging. We're outside of the courtroom, seeing who is coming in, seeing who is visiting him. Y'all remember when Kanye showed up? Like, the people on the streets were the people who were actually getting the information. And your girl wished she was out there with this Mama's Cocktail Hour microphone interviewing people, right? So it brought the media to the streets. Now, what was so very impactful about his trial, and he himself says it, was that Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, any other platform that you can think of, I'm pretty sure, any streaming platform was talking about Diddy during this trial. Trial was a trial of a century. And everybody from old streamers to new streamers, including myself, was talking about this man. Now, what I thought was extremely interesting was the fact that these court transcripts that were given were $500 a piece. I myself know I tried to get my hands on one, wasn't able to do it. It was very costly. And I'm talking about $500 per day. I'm not talking about $500 for the whole thing. No, $500 per day is what they were charging to get these transcripts, okay? What I thought was interesting is that Diddy was giving these transcripts to bloggers who were outside of the courtroom. Now, I know this personally because I follow Tisa Tells, and Tisa Tells was out there. She herself bought the transcripts, and there was days that she didn't buy the transcript and she was just reading all of her notes from the courtroom. But everybody knew out in these internet streets that it was $500. Now, Diddy's camp was extremely calculated, okay? They bought up some of these transcripts, highlighted items, talking points that they wanted to basically have these bloggers talk about. And they were giving them to bloggers outside of the courtroom, okay? I know this. Why? Because Tisa Tells was offered, and she came on her live and clearly told us the story in real time, that she was offered a $500 transcript from Diddy's camp, and she respectfully declined, citing, "I do not take things from people that I cover." Okay? They were extremely upset about it. She said that there was a couple of times that she heard a couple of comments from Diddy's camp about her. So talk about payola. Okay, let's break down payola really quickly. Payola refers to the illegal practice of paying radio stations, DJs, playlist curators, or media outlets to play or promote specific songs without disclosing that the promotion is paid. It has been a recurring issue in the media industry for decades, shaping which artists get exposure, chart success, and industry power. Payola can take many forms: cash payments, gifts, trips, favors, access to celebrities or exclusive events, labeled funded promotions disguised as organic support. The core problem is it manipulates public's perception, making a song seem more popular than it is. Okay, so I know this is in relation to a song, right? But think about how payola can also be seen in the media, right? So if I, who covers Diddy here on this page, right, was taking something tangible from Diddy, I'm sure he's not giving me $500 transcripts for free. And that's where I thought it was interesting. He was highlighting items and telling these bloggers to focus on certain aspects of the trial and not others, okay? Tisa herself respectfully declined, but there was so many others who ended up taking the bait. Now, what did that do? It caused a frenzy, right? Because now if you're speaking merely not off facts, but off of maybe the bias of the person who's actually undergoing trial, how authentic is your channel, right? I would hope that you guys come to Mama's Cocktail Hour to get the real, to understand that my perspective is my own. I'm here to drop the facts, and I'm here to let you guys come up with your own decision, right? We can all disagree or agree in the comments. We can go back and forth, and I'm pretty sure that there's times that you guys did not agree with my sentiment. And that's what the media is about. It's about stating the facts and allowing people to come up with their own decision. It is not my job to sway you. It is my job to report the facts, right? And so I thought it was very interesting that this entire trial was a media frenzy. From the bloggers, the YouTubers that were being swayed into basically biased opinions and to form opinions given by Diddy, right? For Diddy himself, in all of these clips that came out in The Reckoning, okay? If you guys have not watched it, The Reckoning, we're talking about it now. We're talking about the impact of the media, the power that he had, okay? Let's focus right now on those clips that pictured him in his hotel room only days before he was arrested, showing him saying, "We're losing." talking to his lawyer, swaying his lawyer to do something in the public eye. He started referencing platforms like Instagram, like YouTube, like TikTok, and telling his lawyer in real time that he needed to do something, that he needed to sway the public's opinion. This documentary that 50 did was so dope because not only did it show that he was sexually assaulting women, that he was stealing people's legacies, their publishing, he wasn't paying people, he was basically just being a full out demon, okay? It not only showed that, guys, but it also showed that he was very calculated. Not only did he swayed people into doing what it is that he wanted. And we're going to bring up Kalina, okay, from Dirty Money. You guys remember Kalina from Dirty Money? I was looking at Kalina, all different types of sideways in this documentary. First off, I'm going to say this, right? The Netflix documentary is citing that nobody got paid for The Reckoning, okay? That's coming as per Netflix. So I'm not going to say that Kalina got paid here. Maybe she just came to finally show face, and I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt and say that maybe she came to show face because she knew what she did in the beginning was trash. Now, if you guys don't remember, let's go back with Kalina. Kalina did not only just do this media platform, but she also spoke out on social media on her Instagram stories about the Diddy and the Dawn issue. She spoke out on another podcast regarding Diddy, basically taking his side and saying that Cassie was, in her words, promiscuous. Okay? So when Kalina did that and dropped that, we all knew. Kalina, you thought we didn't know, but we knew, girl. We knew that you was either being paid, swayed, or he was basically blackmailing you into submission. We knew that, okay? We knew that. But you thought we didn't know, but we knew, girl, okay? What I thought was interesting was that in this interview, we seen a different Kalina. Like, I was like, oh, God, what is she going to say now? Is she going to say that Dawn deserved it? Is she going to say that Cassie deserved? Like, what is she going to say? She changed her narrative. She spoke about, and they showed clips of Diddy calling Kalina after the Dawn lawsuit dropped, okay? Dawn was like her bandmate, so to speak, because Diddy, Dawn, and Kalina all had a group called Dirty Money, okay? This was formed after the ban, after Danity Kane. They formed their own group. So he reached out, and we saw this on video, to Kalina to ask her for a favor, to make a statement, to say something good about him, okay? She felt inclined to do so. Hence, we saw her story come out where she said, you know, she's never seen anything like that happen between Puff and Dawn. She then goes out to do the podcast, which I'm pretty sure she was paid for, just saying. And she was talking hella shit about Cassie, okay? So now she jumps on The Reckoning, and I'm holding my breath, and the girl is being honest about her situation. She was saying she was in money trouble. She was saying she was going through stuff with trying to, I think, get custody back of her kids. She asked Puff for $5,000 months before everything happened. Check this bullshit out, guys, okay? She asked Puff for $5,000 prior to all of his bullshit happening, and he said he couldn't do it. The billionaire, the mogul, the man who's playing freak offs, $5,000 to $6,000 to escorts for freak offs, couldn't pay Kalina, his artist, who he worked with for a very long time, who seemed to be his friend, that he called his sister, okay? He didn't want to give her 5Gs to get her kids back. But then when he needs her to say something nice or to possibly get him out of some bullshit, he calls and he uses the sis card. I was like, this man is beyond fucking calculated, okay? We can't even just talk about, we need to focus, and this is why this episode is so important. We do not need to talk just about what he did sexually, physically, emotionally to people, but we also need to look at the psyche behind the man. This is a man who is a complete narcissist, okay? He is someone who is manipulative. He's controlling. We've seen clips of him telling Justin to look out for clips of Dawn saying nice things about him. Never once in any of these clips, guys, did I hear Diddy say, yo, I didn't do that. Yo, why is this happening to me? Like, if you were truly innocent in everything that everybody is saying all around the media, all of the lawsuits, if all of that shit was not true, Diddy, I have a question for you. Why, when the cameras were on you, did we only see you trying to play defense? We never saw any sympathy, any empathy, any frustration. Because if you were truly innocent and you had some of the people that you've worked with for so many years coming out with lawsuits about sexual assault, you would be mortified. You would be disgusted. You would be trying to get to the bottom of why is this even happening? But instead, you're basically pivoting. You're straightening up your crown. You're trying to make sure you're giving yourself inspirational words of courage when you were going down the elevator and you were like, everything that's up must come down. And then you caught yourself, Diddy, because you realized you was up and now you are down. So then you said, oh, everything's down, must go up. Nice try, okay? It's everything that goes up must come down, okay? And so we saw in this documentary, so to speak, okay, we saw how calculated he is. We saw how he got his publicists involved. We heard from the people on the street, the Joe Schmoes, the me and yous, that he was swaying public opinion by buying bloggers, paying people to put on free Diddy shirts. Like, come on, guys. That is absolutely payola. Okay, he is paying to shape your opinion. And that's why 50 Cent did an amazing job of not only just capturing the sexual assault, the salacious stuff, the freak offs, the Diddy parties. He was capturing how calculated Diddy was, how he had no remorse for the victims, how he felt no type of compassion or sorrow for the things that he did, that he was merely pivoting or dodging things in order to get free. So I wanted to take the time today to focus on the media and to focus on Diddy's control, okay? So you guys let me know what you think in the comments. We're going to be going through different segments of this. You guys let me know what part of the Diddy series do you want to hear next. I'm excited to break through this. We're going to dive through it. We're going to take our time, especially because I missed the whole Diddy stuff. All right, guys, drop me a comment about what you think. Do you think that Diddy was paying these people to sway public opinion? Let me know in the comments. It's your girl, Zeta Lisa, and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.
I was so bored up.